America has a deep problem, an epidemic of mental health. And it is with this in mind that I report to you a story that it takes me no joy to tell you. But 5 Duluth, Minnesota residents are now no longer with us in this world. Why? Because 46-year-old Duluth, Minnesota resident Anthony Nephew took his life and the life of his ex-wife and a son they had, and his current wife and a son between their marriage. So now we have 5 people that are no longer with us because he had fear of President Donald Trump being reelected. Now that is sad, and there are many things that I want to say about it. It is sad that we have someone who clearly, when you look at the facts of his story, had severe mental health issues. It is sad that someone like that would feel the need to off himself and the lives of his family because a politician he doesn't agree with got reelected. And it is sad to me and disgusting that the propaganda machine would keep calling the president-elect and his supporters fascist. Fascism, my friends, is a distinctly left-wing ideology, not on the right. And you see, it is because I believe that the indoctrination system and our public education system and the college system and their friends in the mainstream media keep wanting to push this narrative that fascism is on the right and that conservatives are fascist, that I believe we're seeing meltdowns of people on the left in this country now that Donald Trump has been reelected. I want to tell you, my friends, conservatism is not fascism. Libertarianism is not fascism. The underpinnings of American conservatism are based around freedom, the freedom of choice, and of less government. We want government to get out of your way, to get out of your life, so that you can live your life the way you choose to live your life. But this man, who was clearly on the left and was posting left-wing memes and posts on social media prior to his decision to off himself and his family this past Friday, this man was so fearful of one man and his supporters that he decided to end his life. As a pro-life person, it breaks my heart that I'm having to tell you this, because I believe that every human life, no matter what stage they're in, has value. And I believe that this propaganda machine that I just told you about has the answer for this. This man should have had help. And now 5 people are no longer on this planet because he was so fearful of people on the right that he took his life. As a libertarian conservative myself, I'm telling you, there is nothing to be afraid of. We want you to be able to live your own life, even if we don't agree with what you're doing, as long as you're not hurting someone else. America is based around the idea that all men should be free to live according to their own conscience. But this man was so disturbed by Christians that he said that he had intrusive thoughts of being burned at the stake. As a Christian myself, I'm telling you that even though there have been horrible atrocities in the past committed in the name of my religion, if you read the Bible and you read the words of Christ, you would know that those actions are not Christ-like. They're disgustingly anti-Christ. Christ came to set men free. Christ came to deliver you from sin and from wrongdoing. Christ came so that you may live the way that God intended us to live from the very beginning, free of sin and torment and all the things that go along with it. There is nothing to fear. Christianity, my friends, at its core, is a religion of love for God and for your neighbor. And so to believe that Christians are going to harm you and end your life or burn you at the stake is wrong. It is anti-Christ to do those things. We believe that men should be free to live according to their own conscience. It's a very American idea, but where do you think we got those ideas? From the religion of Christianity. Christianity, done right, tells you to love your enemies, to pray for your enemies, not to harm them. And so the fact that this man was so mentally disturbed that he took his own life is heartbreaking to me. And I'm telling you this ahead of time because I am sure that the propaganda machine is going to attempt to frame this story in a way that it's to see, because of these fascists on the right, this man is now dead, along with 4 other people. No, the media played a role in this. This man was disturbed. In 2021, he wrote an op-ed in his local Duluth, Minnesota newspaper talking about mental health and how he believed mental health in this country was swept under the rug and demonized. Now, that's something I agree with. We need to invest more in mental health and to look at the root causes of mental health within our society. And I would tell you, my friends, that it is religion and knowing that God loves you that is ultimately the best thing for your mental health. Read your scriptures and practice them. So I want you to know ahead of time that this is not something to blame Christians or Donald Trump for. This is a tragic case of a man who was so fearful and so mentally disturbed from factors that were probably beyond his control that he took his own life. This is not something that conservatives champion. We don't want to see people killing themselves. We don't want to see people we disagree with harming themselves or harming other people. This is tragic, and this should not happen in the United States of America. And I blame the mainstream media for their role in this. These people who have called Donald Trump literally Hitler for over 4 years should own up to the fact that they played a role in this. And we as the American people should not tolerate this at all. I've had enough of the propaganda machine. I've had enough of their lies. Your lies have consequences. And this is just another example of those consequences in this most extreme form. I am glad that we live in the digital age, because now people who wish to seek the truth can find it easier than ever. We don't have to listen to the propaganda machine anymore. But it also requires that we step out of our own echo chambers and that we listen to things that sometimes challenge our own biases. I believe in bringing the truth to you. And obviously, I believe that with less government and less government interaction in our own lives, that we are better off. But I'm never going to lie to you. I made that promise from the very beginning. So if you want to escape the propaganda machine, do me a favor. Share this story so that more Americans see it and wake up to the reality of what's really going on with the legacy media and the agenda that they're pushing. Like it because it helps out the algorithm, and subscribe to my channel for more content. It helps to grow and expand the channel, and it will ultimately help to make sure more people see this.